who is going to be talking about the Second Amendment and what it appears that it's going to happen for all of us once this takes place. Rick, you want to get started on that?
Sure. Guys, I see a war of words. I see a war of logistics. I see a war of not only those two combined in the Senate and the House and every place else like that, but this is going to be the ultimate war as far as Congress is concerned when you talk about the very Second Amendment of which was written for the colonials and the United States of the Americas. It has been at the forefront of not only our protection, but our right to have and keep and bear arms. And that is one thing that I want to make quite certainly clear is that we do have that right to keep and bear arms. What's going to happen if we have a challenge by the Democratic people as far as what we can carry, what we can own, where we go with them, and things like that is tantamount to basically a communistic type of state, tyrannical government. And that's going to hurt everybody. That's going to put a lot of people on the wrong side of the law because just like the old saying says, then only the criminals will have guns. Well, I'm going to be a criminal. I don't know about you guys, but because I have no intention to follow or to allow them in my household or any of my friends that I know, and I know quite a few people, are not going to allow this type of governmental tyrannical efforts to suspend our rights as far as the Second Amendment. And I think you will see, like I said, it's going to take a military type of strike in the essence of the troops coming out and saying we're going to go house to house. And if you see that, you're going to see a lot of the military people that's going to lay down and say, no, I'm not going to do that to my fellow American. I've been told by troops and by military people that they would not and will not take up arms against the United States citizens.
You know what I think that's going to do, Rick, and correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like what that's going to do is create your normal law-abiding citizen. Is going to turn people into it's going to turn them like overnight into criminals for no reason.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's intended for. And next thing you know, you're going to have Billy Bob and Joe Bob and Gary Bob all telling on Gary Bob or somebody like that for having a little pop gun, or anyway, like they say in the old world and on the streets, snitches get stitches. And that's what it's going to turn into, because basically you're going to have people wanting to turn people in. And there's probably be some kind of program, just like right now. If you turn in the correct information and it's substantiated and ends up in a court of law and a guilty plea is initiated, then here, we're going to give you $1,000. I can see that happening. I really can.
Yeah, I can too. And that's pretty sad.
Well, if it does end up going from house to house, it's going to end up where you're going to have a whole lot of people that aren't home. And then they're going to show up to somebody's ranch to go on there to get their guns. And it's going to be mass chaos. It's going to end up like the Koresh compound.
Now, real quick,
I genuinely believe that part of Waco part of the David Koresh deal was to see how easy is it going to be to take guns away from a Texan.
Now, Darren Wedlock says, pretty hard to see what you're shooting at when your house is full of tear gas. James, you want to answer that?
Yeah, let me turn my volume up. So the David Koresh thing, they wanted to push and see how far they can go, but the FBI and all these people had reason to raid this place. There was a lot of things going on there, went haywire really, really fast. But the Second Amendment simply states it's a very well stated thing: a regulated being necessary to the security of a free state. So how free are we right now with these mask mandates, lockdowns, security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed of a free state. That's what we're getting these little freedoms taken away left and right with this mask mandate and these California's going through right now. These people are getting their businesses shut down and everything, and a second wave of COVID and all this other shit that's going on. Real thing. I found out today a friend of mine that I worked with down in Texas City passed away 2 days ago, and apparently from COVID. 46, and to me, as far as I've known, he was healthy. As he wasn't a bodybuilder or anything like that. COVID was his cause of death. Good guy, really good guy. So this is the second guy that I know in the last couple of months that passed away from COVID. And they're trying to push this thing. I think this whole political, it is so politicized to the point that they're trying to instill fear in the people, and it's just one step in freedoms. And like the Constitution says, of a free state, a militia being necessary to the security of a free state. So how free are we now? That's one of the questions I have. How free are we? We can't even go to the friggin' grocery store.
Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
My question is this also, James, as far as I agree totally with what you're saying there, but it's in that Constitution, and I will repeat this. It says it shall not be infringed on. Now, I went to high school. I pretty well understand what that means. I went to college, and when it says it shall not be infringed upon, then basically when you have courts and you have different political ideologies coming forth saying, well, that's not really what it means. Excuse me, but yes, it does. It means it shall not be infringed upon.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
One of the
shall is a big word.
Deborah Fox.
If you look at, go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, Deborah Fawcett says, "Hey y'all, Texas sheriff's deputies said they refuse to participate in any house-to-house gun confiscation, and the thought was ridiculous." And yes, it is. And
I agree.
No sheriff's deputy or police officer in his right mind is going to try and go door to door, especially here in Texas, and try and collect weapons. It's just not going to happen.
No. People here in Texas and Louisiana sit in trees all day long to kill something for fun. That's it.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And so shall and should, or I'll write policy all day long. This is what I do at work. I write shall is something you must do. Should is something that's it's insinuated. So they shall not be infringed. That's a big thing. Okay. But they can't take your guns, according to the second, but can they limit your ammo, your magazines? It's stupid bullshit. So, like I was saying, what is the difference between a 20 round and a 30 round? You know what? If I can't get you, I need to work on my aim a little better,
Well, James, here's the thing. If you're talking about limiting magazines, getting rid of assault type weapons, the weapons that were created are created in order to defend against a tyrannical government, correct? Am I right on that?
Correct.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any weapon that the population have or can have has to be at least equal or close enough to what our government may have in order to defend against. And everybody was saying, well, that was when it was all flintlocks. Very true.
No.
Our government, all they had was flintlock. Now, I understand that there's certain things that aren't aren't, good for just, Joe Blow on the street to have, like maybe a 20 millimeter cannon, 30 millimeter cannon, something of that nature. But
The fun.
the license to own it. If you can use it, if you can have it, if you know how to operate it, why can't you have that weapon?
Or a 7 millimeter
agree.
mag, or something like a 308, something like that, right? That's a semi-automatic. Okay, I have an SKS that holds 30 rounds, it holds 20 rounds, whatever.
Isn't that me?
The mag I just showed you earlier is from my
any of you
SKS.
guys.
Hello. Are we?
Yeah.
I can't hear any of y'all.
I can
Gordon.
hear you.
I can hear you.
Gordon.
Gordon can't hear us for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna drop Gordon out.
Hello. Okay.
I'm dropping him down for a minute.
So, if you have a 30-06, a 7 millimeter, whatever the case, you can shoot one round at a time. What in the heck between your 30-06 and my 7.62 by 39, my SKS? There is no difference. Gordon, you got us?
Hello,
Abe
Gordon.
Lincoln hater.
I don't think you can hear us yet.
No, I can hear y'all now.
Oh, okay, there you go.
There we go. All right.
There we go.
Speaking of
What
Nancy
happened?
Pelosi's underwear, oh shit, Gordon's back in. So just gotta give
Something about Gordon.
gotta give more.
That loving of crust. He loves crust.
That's what that licorice fleshy ass Nancy Pelosi's fat nasty. Never mind. So I'm not going to get started. Oh hey, speaking of, we had a show last night, right? It was the paranormal show, and the show was about remote viewing. So I promised I wouldn't say anything at all. Tonight is the night, partner. So remote sniffing. There's a equivalent. Joe Biden is a remote sniffer. He can go in somebody's dirty pile of laundry, somebody's drawers sitting somewhere in a corner, not even in a haunted house, just like, I don't know, in a nursing home somewhere, and start sniffing booties.
But
we gotta
Can
call
tell you
Joe
what they
the
had?
remote
Joe
sniffer.
Biden would never sniff anyone's underwears in an old folks' home. Now, if you're talking like an early
Shit.
learning academy, now there's some chances there.
But you know what? We've a lot of
Even like an animal shelter. That's how he broke up his dog's butt, and he tripped and he broke his ankle. Just had to bring that up. I've been waiting 24 hours to say that.
have you guys noticed
I had
how
to
many
work.
getting dropped on the show?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, we've been getting dropped a lot and having to restart constantly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like what we
Yeah,
were talking
so
about the other night, guys. Censorship.
Yeah,
it's-
we're being watched. Totally being watched. 100%. I agree. Bro, yeah, I need a drink too. Stand by.
There you go. There you
Okay,
go.
I'm good. So yeah, I think we're being watched. Be honest, any platform that's out there right now, we're not. I know we're not the Joe Rogan experience. We don't have 500,000 people watching a night, but we're making an impact. We're putting words out there. We're putting I don't want to say an agenda, but we're putting things out there, and I think people are. There's these tech nerds that are watching this type of shit.
So let me ask you.
And if Nancy Pelosi's one of the tech nerds, then Nancy Pelosi go to Gordon's house and eat some ice cream. So just
So
to
let
be
me ask-
nice.
if they do come after
You're welcome.
the Second Amendment, if they do try and get in there, and not only the Second Amendment, but if they try and rewrite some of our Constitution, what should people do? Gordon?
Revolt.
No. there's got to be. We're running out of options, and knowing that these fools are watching is the whole reason why I'm hesitant to say what I'm saying. And the reason I'm saying we're running out of options. That tyrannical government has already shown itself. And that tree of liberty is damn thirsty.
Yes, sir.
And you can't continue to push and push and push a grand populace of people before they rise up and stomp one hell of a giant mud hole in your ass. And that's what's going to end up happening. You start having door-to-door searches. You start having people coming in saying, hey, we're here to inspect your house. Fine. Not a problem. You take 1 foot inside of my house, you're going to leave with a face full of lead. And we are going to descend into civil war. Now, people are serious about their guns.
It's just amazing. And, you know, I never thought that I would see this within the United States of America. Rick, give me some words.
I know, right?
Do what?
I said, give me some words of wisdom.
Okay. How about this? It would be quite wise of the Pennsylvania people themselves, as far as an election group, that they now have been officially docketed at the United States Supreme Court. The Justice Court Alito has ordered the state to respond no later than the December 9th. And this is going to have a big, vast, impact on what the hell's going on with this voting and what's going on. And that will fall quite centrally in as far as the voting constituency of all the other states and what happens after that. Now, the words of wisdom I might impart are the fact that just sit back and watch, enjoy your coffee, and see what takes place.
Gordon, some words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. Get to the gun range. Make sure you're sighted in to at least 150 yards.
Bingo.
James, your words of wisdom.
I'm not that wise, but I'll tell you this: we have a long way to go, and there's, you know, the 14th is coming up soon. They got to prove some things, and I think either way it goes. What are you guys eating? I think you was doing like the ramen thing, and now Gordon's eating like cottage cheese or something. Like, you guys are making me hungry, man. I don't know what's going on, but either way, I just see you guys are munching down, man.
Hey, I was earlier.
I just took some ribs. I saw that. Yeah, I took some ribs off the smoker, and those are good by now. But either way, I think we're going to be in a bind. So let's say Trump gets reelected. Blah blah blah. You know, are going to go nuts. Rick, hey, Gando Rick. If Trump doesn't, and you know, Biden unfortunately gets in, it's going to be disgusting, and I hate to see what's going to happen there. But either way, I think we're in for a shit show. So buckle up, like I've been saying. And next few days is going to prove some things. The next 36 hours, we should see something. And just keep your eyes open. Stay away from Fox, all that. Go to OAN and or Newsmax and get your information.
Gordon?
Rick.
Yes.
Ariando. No, not Rick Warren. Rick Ariando. I'm going to message you. I'm going to message you my phone number. We need to visit.
Hey, Gordon, you broke up. Message what?
I'm going to message Rick Ariando. He and I need to sit down and have a chat.
Rick has a nice rack. He does. He's really nice rack.
My question is,
Rick's my homeboy.
Yeah. My question is, I know, James.
That's my homeboy.
What happens if these deadlines aren't met? What happens if these Democratic states say, no, we've already certified our votes, for, basically fuck off?
Oh, and they go against a judge's order?
Yes.
They go to
It's got to go through Congress. It has to go through Congress either way.
Right,
So-
but that's not the question I'm asking. I know what the process should be. I know what the
I see what
process
you're
is
saying.
supposed to be. What if the
Mhm.
Democratic-run state of Georgia and the Democratic-run state of Wisconsin, what if they tell them, fuck off, our votes have been certified, you don't get access?
It's contempt.
I see what you're saying.
they're in violation
No.
of court order.
I know exactly what he's saying.
I know what you're
So
saying.
what Gordon's saying right now is what he's saying is, what if the state says no, unification is what it is? What are you going to do about it? And then the federal government steps in and says, you know what, we can't accept that result. So the federal government at that point is stepping on a state. That's what
Mhm.
Gordon's saying. So what happens then? That's exactly what he's saying right there. I know what you're talking. So now we're stepping on a state as a federal government, and now we're tyrannical on this one state. And then what happens? Now you got a clash in the federal government and
a state.
Right.
the
But
state.
thing-
Yeah.
same-
And then if
same thing
Pennsylvania
happened
follows
with-
suit, Michigan, all of
But I think what probably end up happening is you would end up with federal marshals with arrest warrants for whoever's in
Yes,
charge.
sir.
It doesn't matter.
the thing is,
Because
the federal
all
is
they have to
stepping
do
in on a
is
state.
postpone it. All they
Mhm.
have to do is postpone it.
This was mandated by the Supreme Court of the United States. Again,
Right, I
it's just
get
like what
that.
happened. I believe that this happened with JFK when George Wallace said, "I'm not going to let this colored person into school." JFK sat there and mandated back to him the full brunt of the military force, and sat there and walked all over him.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting.
That's some
But
that's some good background to get, right? That's something like what happens if Georgia or Pennsylvania and Nevada and all these folks say, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to certify federal level because we're our own state, we can do what the hell we want, we're going to certify. So what are you going to do? You're going to step in my yard as a federal government, what to do at
They
that
might.
point? Then we're not governing ourselves. What does the state constitution mean if we can't govern ourselves?
They might.
And you're going to come in here as
but see, that's what I'm getting at. What's our drop dead date, guys?
I'm sorry.
What's our drop
That's
dead
something
date?
to think about. That's something I'm going to look into.
What's our drop dead
I like
date
that.
for this election? Is December 15th?
Right.
This has to be wrapped up by December
Yeah,
15th.
it's like
Tomorrow is already
I
the
think
7th,
it's the 14th,
14th.
Gordon. I think
Tomorrow
so.
is
We
the
have 7
7th.
days.
So he's mandated by the
Yeah.
9th. All they have to do
Mhm.
is buy a week and it's done.
Mhm.
So the states
Yeah,
come
it's
back and
getting
say,
close.
"Nah, we're not giving you.
Yeah,
We've certified. We're done."
It's nail biting time, but I mean,
I don't know,
you
man.
would figure for an election on a federal level, they would pull on that, per state, or even per cap. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into this.
And also,
It's got me
you're also
curious.
talking about a federal offense, a federal crime, violation of a federal judge's order, a federal judge's order at that, from the Supreme Court. This isn't just saying, "Oh, I didn't pay my traffic ticket." It doesn't matter. They could undo a lot of shit,
Well,
regardless.
here's the deal. Here's what I'm looking at. If they buy to the 14th, the states say, "We've already certified our votes. There's nothing you can do about it. We had till the 14th. We certified. We did our job. It is what it is." The Supreme Court going in and even Trump going in and forcefully taking that stuff and forcing the federal mandate, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
It's too late.
But is it?
It is, according to the Constitution.
How so? How
Well,
so?
Technically,
It
according
is. It is by tradition.
there's a lot of shit that they're not doing right.
It is by.
But after the 14th,
It
if
is
they
by
come back and
tradition. But
say-
is it?
if after the 14th they come back and say, you know what, according to the evidence and according to everything, Donald Trump should be president. Do you think that the Supreme Court of the United States is going to force the issue after the 14th?
They might. If not, they're going to have a big revolt.
Yeah, but guess what?
That's
Because
gonna be the
of
problem.
pacification of America,
Mhm.
are we willing to stand up and do it?
That's
I have a
good
feeling
question.
that we are.
I think so.
I think we are too.
I think so.
I think we are.
And Gordon, you listen to Walton. Gordon, you listen to Walton Johnson, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're a 2%er, right there with you.
All right. Well,
But
that's
yeah,
about-
I think.
We're out of time.
Yeah, go ahead. Eddie. We're out of time, man. We're out of time.
Yeah, do some closing statements. We're going to start off with Rick.
Well, guys, I think that it is again a rallying cry for everybody to not give up. That Constitution was written for a damn reason. Okay, I stand behind that Constitution. I have relatives, and I'm sure all of you have relatives that you have sat there and watched them put their hand on the Bible and said that they would defend the Constitution. And right now, we need that defense. We need those people that want to be able to take the bull by the horn, as it were, and defend what the Constitution is all about. Defend what this American land is all about. Defend the way of the life that we have had. And I hopefully I can pass down to my children and my grandchildren and not have to go through this shit show ever again.
Amen, Rick. And I'll tell you, every police officer and every person in the military takes that oath to defend the Constitution of the United States. Let's hope nobody forgets that. Gordon.
Well, my final words are going to be along the same lines as yours, Eddie. Look, the Constitution of the United States, when it was written, it's not open to interpretation. It's not open to what you think. It's open to what it says. And that's it. Our country was founded on a certain set of inalienable rights, that all men were created equal. To change any word of it to try to make it, quote, meet modern times or modern circumstances doesn't work like that.
Nope.
It can't work like that. So my whole deal is tonight is to everybody needs to look hard and say, how far am I willing to go with this? How far is too far? I used to have a friend of mine who said that if you'll stand for this kind of shit, then you'll kneel before anybody else. So are we ready to stand? Are we ready to go grab some knee pads?
Stand. Absolutely.
Yep.
James.
My DNA. I think it's to the point now where, you know, every American knows there is a Constitution, but not every American knows what's in that Constitution. I think everybody at this point right now in life, in that we're going through right now, needs to go and review the Constitution and look it up And like Gordon said, it's not up for interpretation. This you go and look at and study, which I'm guilty of not doing myself. I need to go and look at it at the same thing too. I agree with Deborah that within the next couple of days we're going to see some things drop, and it is critical. It is critical. We are a fourth down on 4 country right now, and there's some things that's going to happen within the next several days. 4 to 5, 6 days, we're going to know what's going to happen. If it leans one way or the other, big things are going to happen. Be ready, be prepared, prepare your family, and educate people. I talked to my dad earlier, and he is 100% going to be in office, even though he voted Trump. They listen to mainstream media. I had to educate him a little bit. He didn't want to hear it, but whatever. But get out there and review the Constitution and know your rights, know what you have, and keep your eyes open for the next couple of days. Buckle up; it's going to get nuts.
Yeah, I agree with you, James. And I have to chime in over here. I'm going to put Danielle's comment up here. I want to, as part of her closing statement, because she's writes a lot on here. Rewriting the Constitution would be like trying to rewrite the 10 Commandments. And that's very true, because the 10 Commandments, you cannot rewrite those. Deborah Fawcett as well. She says, thanks, y'all. Love you guys. Keep the faith and don't give up. We are strong. America will always be the land of the free. And I agree, Deborah. And I honestly think that we're going to come out victorious, whether Trump gets in or not. I think Americans will stand up and fight for the Constitution and fight for what is right. At least I hope they do. All military, police as well. Everybody takes an oath to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. If you're a police officer or you're military, keep that in mind, because remember, something may be asked of you to do something that is against the Constitution of the United States, and you can lawfully decline, because they cannot ask you to do anything that is 1, against the law, and 2, against the Constitution of the United States. And you took an oath to uphold it. So remember to uphold that. Do not give in to orders that are not lawful and they're not constitutionally sound.
That's right.
And that's my closing statement. Deborah Fawcett does say the whole world is pulling for us and Trump. I really believe that.
It is.
New Zealand, they are as well. So until next time, you all take care. Please take care. Pay close attention to what's going on this week, because everything's riding on it. So let's see what they do. Keep your fingers crossed, keep your prayers going, and by all means, God bless, stay safe, and God bless the United States of America. Take care, everybody.
Amen. Thank you, gentlemen.